Hey everyone. Oh, hey girl, hi. How are you? I'm just on my walk. I didn't do it this morning because class started at 8 a.m. And obviously if you watched my story, I went out last night. So I didn't really drink too much. I think I had like one drink. I did. And I really didn't go out for that long. It was literally a little bit, but I kind of learned that unless it's an event that I really like a show, like my music that I like, or like the LA Fashion Week, or there was a yacht party I saw that you guys, I love yachts. I wasn't able to go. I'm not really, I just don't feel it. I don't feel like I did connect with one cool guy that was a new guy of a friend of mine. That was epic, but it just was like I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just lived that part of my life when I was in college and I did it. And the other thing I felt like, and that was weird, but like, I was like the youngest one there. I was like 28. And I think like most people there were like 40s, 50s. I'm like, I mean, 30, 40, I mean, whatever. But I was just like, don't we have like better, I guess, I don't know, not judging. Everyone has their own life path. But I wanted to come on because I wanted to talk to you guys because I had a lot of thoughts actually these past few weeks, if I'm being honest. And so I want to totally be honest with you guys because I do value that transparency. And I have felt like a little bit hurt, like my feelings the past few weeks. And I've had to manage those feelings of feeling hurt or feeling sad or feeling like rejected, I guess, in a way. Like, I don't know. That's probably the best way to describe it. Even though I like created it, but it's like, even though we do something, then we feel whatever we put off, like even if we reject someone or we like say we want to end something or we say like we need to break from something, but then we end up feeling like the feelings that we put out. So like we end up feeling because we're sensitive and energetic beings, so it boomerangs back to us. If we come with a closed heart or a cut connection, it usually comes back into us feeling that. And so it's probably my lesson of maybe just going more with an open heart so my feelings can be heard and expressed instead of this negative reactivity. But what I wanted to share is sometimes right now in my business and my life, right, I'm 4 years into building my empire. Hey, Justin. I have 3 books, 28 online courses. I'm almost on my PhD, you guys. Spring 2023. It's so exciting. I just took a midterm. So we're like halfway through this semester. So I have 2.5 semesters left. My dissertation's going strong. But sometimes, like going out last night, right, I can wonder, it was just so crazy because even like when I look at my bank account or look at my business, right, I have multiple 6 figures in business. Like my Stripe shows this, like, this year I'm already at what I made all of last year, like beyond what I made all of last year. And so it's just such an exciting thing. And I have a new product. We just placed the PO order. I'm waiting on something else to place another product order. So you guys, like, things are just really exciting and they're moving and they're happening. We have that new mastermind, the energy mastermind that's coming, another new program this month. Like, there's just so much exciting things that are happening. But I can still sit there and I'll be like, why have I not made more money? Why do I not have the freedom? I shouldn't say freedom because I do, but it feels like sometimes, why don't I have the freedom to travel where I want to travel or go where I want to travel? Like, for example, I just couldn't do Orlando because of something that came up, an emergency. Because of my PhD, I can't really travel the way that I was like the first 2 years of my business, right? Because I have to be really focused and reading and all my books are all over. So it's hard to like pack it all up and move because you need you have like the structure if you're in the middle of all these thoughts and you're placing patterns together from different resources. So, and I also Gabby Bernstein's going to be on the podcast, which is so exciting. I think a week from Tuesday. She won't go live that day, but she'll be on it. And like I was listening to a podcast with her and Ed Milet, and I'm thinking, Colleen, her first book was written at 27. She's 42 years old. Like, how are you even looking at her success of millions upon millions of like a global impact of like her book being in all these places, and you're a decade and a few years younger? You've been doing the work, less experience. And I sometimes can look at other people in the online space, and maybe you guys look at me this way, and I wonder like, when is this going to happen for me? Like, when is this going to whatever? And then I have to remind myself, like, I'm in my process. Like, even today with my PhD, right? Like, can I just go out and live or go by the pool and lay by the pool and tan? And I'm like, Colleen, when you're in your 40s, you're going to be so grateful you did this. Like, Colleen, you're going to be so grateful that you have this body of work this theory, this thing that you own, that you've birthed into the world, that other people may cite and like source, like that you could be consulting, whatever, like you're going to be so happy, or you're putting in this like entrepreneur time. And even Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this, right? Like he did content for years before even making a dime. And I think like in my first year, I made, 6 figures. And so it's just easy. I guess what I wanted to say, it's easy to fall in the trap of why is it so easy for them, or why are they there and I'm not there? Why is all this happening for them and it feels like it's not happening for me? And even though at the beginning of this live, I did my habit, I did my practice where what I teach is you want to look at what is everything that you have? What are the things you currently take part in? And I shared that all. And even though I felt like a little bit heartbroken or sad these past few weeks, because it's something I even created, like it was something that I said no to, something that I took a break from, something that I like pushed away from me. Like it was someone I pushed away from me, and I'm still sad about it, even though it was the right decision. And so I just want you to know that I think we sometimes think this life is like so linear, and we think that everyone has it all together. But I listened to that podcast with Ed Milet and Gabby Bernstein. It just brought me to tears because it made me realize even someone like Ed Milet and Gabby Bernstein, like they are still struggling with things like this. It's not like once you become a multiple 6-figure earner, once you become a multimillionaire, once whatever, that these problems or these feelings go away. It's not like that. It's that you allow the feeling to come up and you transition your focus. So let's say instead of being heartbroken, you go, I'm so grateful that this information was revealed to me so I can make the decisions that were right for me in my life to bring me closer to the right people. I am so grateful that this extra money came in from wherever so that I could pay for a mentor. I'm so grateful that I chose to invest in this and trust that the money was going to come up. I'm so grateful. Like instead of looking at like, I don't have the money, it's like, I'm going to take a bet on myself. I'm going to take a risk on myself and I'm going to do it. Or I'm so happy that, I took an hour to journal instead of call a friend. I'm so happy that whatever, like I could go on and on and on with mantras of what you could do. So I just wanted to come on because today was kind of a heavy heart for me, where I felt like I was so excited yesterday and I went out and it was so fun, but I was like, it wasn't worth it. Like it wasn't worth the getting ready and then this and then that. Like it wasn't worth all of that. And so and sometimes I think like the comparing of where someone else is, it's not worth it, because just focus on what you already have, on what you've already created. And if you haven't created what you already want, like what are the steps you can do today? What's the post you can do? What's the video you can do? What's the money that you can save per week so that you can invest in the product that you need to invest in, or invest in the service you need to invest in? Like, what is it? So I just want to share that because I think it's really important, and we can easily judge others on their life being a certain way and why ours isn't. And I want you to know you are always where you're meant to be. And this live is just as much a reminder for myself as it is you. And it's not that once you get somewhere, these issues will stop. It's coming here, present, alive, in this moment, focused. I can feel myself coming back to centered and presence. I can feel that these thoughts aren't mine to carry. I can feel everything I do have and create. And I can feel that I'm putting in this investment right now for a future that I can't even fathom. When I'm 38, God, that's 10 years from now. Like, thinking of that is just so beautiful to me. So I just want you to know that success is on your way. If you're already here, if you're already wanting a bigger life, it's going to happen. A thought is not placed inside of your mind by accident, but it's up to you to take the action, you to become present in it, you to do the inner work, moment by moment, breath by breath, to bring you where you want to go. So I love you. I hope this served. If you like this, I highly recommend my Shift to the Limitless audio. It's on my website. It's $1. And if you're struggling with any of this, I highly recommend, like I said, I have 10 calls that I'm giving away through this week, through Friday, that are a fraction of the investment of my one-on-one. So I highly recommend going to my link and grabbing it, or you can just say call. I love you guys. I hope this served. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you want to reach out and say you relate, please do that. And if you want to take your life to the next level, reach out to me, and I'm happy to discuss and have a conversation around one-on-one mentorship.